Well, folks, it's that time of the year again. This is the 2-year anniversary of Steel City Alarms. And for this special, I'm going to be doing a full-on collection update of every single device I have in my entire collection, as seen here. And as you can see, I got quite a lot of alarms. My collection has expanded quite a lot recently. So yeah, before I get to this update, I just want to say thank you all. Thank you all for 2 years of nothing but incredible support. It truly means a lot. And yeah, we're getting really close to 1,000 subscribers as well. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, the first device we got here is the Kidde K270 ASPO. It pulls just like that. And you need like a flathead screwdriver to open this thing, but I already have it open. And this is the pull station I'll be using to test all of my notification appliances, so yeah. So get ready for that. And yeah, pretty nice pull station, although the lock is a pain in the butt. This next one over here is the Notifier BNG1R. It's basically a rebrand of the Firelight BG8. However, unfortunately, this one is a pain in the butt to open up. Like, I can't even open it right now. Like, I'm sorry. This thing's a pain in the butt. Other than that, it's like your Firelight BG8, but this one's rebranded by Notifier. This one over here is the Simplex 425120. It's like it's your standard T-bar, but it's a lot older. And this one actually has the flat bar, which is pretty cool. And resetting it is pretty straightforward. Here's the inside of it if you want to see it. There you are. This next one are not one, but two Firelight BG10s. This one has all of its circuitry ripped out and the screw for it popped out. Where is it? There it is. So yeah, the screw that's popped out because I accidentally broke it. So yeah, but it's not like this thing works anyway. So yeah, I got it anyway just so I can keep it as a novelty item. So yeah. This one is my actual Firelight BG10. However, unfortunately, one of the wires on just snapped, so I either need to get the wire resoldered or I just need to buy a new BG10 all along. So yeah, Firelight BG10s. Pretty nostalgic to me, I should say. This last one over here, I saved the best for last in pull stations because it is insanely rare, and I also got it new in box. The Firelight BG6. This thing is awesome. Easily one of my big favorite pull stations I've acquired so far. So yeah, there you have it. Firelight BG6. Very cool. I really love this thing. Alright, we're gonna get into the smoke detectors now. And this first detector I have is a Simplex 2098-9201. It's a standard conventional Simplex smoke detector. And honestly, I think it looks really cool. I think it's really cool looking. It's one of my favorite detectors out there. However, my only complaint is that these pull a crap ton of current, so these can be a little difficult to run sometimes. But other than that, it's a really neat detector. Oh, I really like these. Alright, this next smoke detector over here is a Simplex 4098-9714. I think that's what it is. Yes, it is. So it's an adjustable smoke detector, so unfortunately I cannot run it. So, but it's still nice to keep as a novelty item. So, yeah. Pretty cool unit though. I definitely like how it looks. Alright, next ones we have are not one, but two System Sensor 2451s. And these are pretty standard smoke detectors by System Sensor. Yeah, and these are pretty nostalgic to me as well. I've seen these out in the wild in one of my old schools. In two of my old schools, I think. I'm not sure exactly, but yeah, here's the back of it. 2451. And yeah. Oh, I really like these. These are really cool detectors. Alright, this is the final detector I have, and this is actually a heat detector. This is a Chemitron Model 601. It's basically a rebranded Edwards heat detector. And that's pretty much what it is. Has that metal disc, which I like. Yeah, pretty standard heat detector, but actually, I really like these as well. I honestly find these really cool. Alright, time to get to the fun part, the notification appliances. This first one is an Edwards 8921B001. And this is a very, very old alarm. And honestly, I really like these units. I find them really, really cool. Alrighty, without further ado, let's give this baby a test. And there you go. That is the Edwards 8921B001. Alright, this next notification appliance is the Edwards Integrity 757-78HS. This alarm is easily one of my favorite alarms of all time. And this alarm is very, very nostalgic. Like, seriously. Two of my old schools, back when I used to live in New Jersey, had these. And I think one of the schools still have these appliances to this day. Like, still in service. Which is awesome. Alright, let's go ahead and give this baby a test. And there you have it. That is the Edwards Integrity 757-78HS. Alright, these next ones are not one, but two Edwards Integrity 4057ATs. These are just regular remote strobes, like your standard remote strobes. However, as with HS, these are also very nostalgic to me and one of my big favorite alarms of all time. But to those that know me, I really love the Edwards Integrity lineup because of their high quality and they're just very nostalgic to me and the sound they make and the performance. Alright, before I get to the test, my overall thoughts, really nice quality product. I really like the metal plate instead of plastic. That makes it a lot more durable. Alright, let's go ahead and give one of them a test. And there you have it. These are my 4057ATs. Alright, this next one is the Edwards Integrity 757-78T. Basically the same exact story as the HS. Seen these go off at one of my old schools this time. Back when I used to live in New Jersey. And yeah, I just really love these things. As I said with the HS and the 405s, I really like these units. Alright, let's go ahead and give it a test. And there you have it. That is the 757-78T. Alright, this next one is the Chime Strobe version, the 757-78CS. Basically the Chime Strobe version, as I said, to the HS. And I'll go ahead and demonstrate that for you. And there you have it. That is the 757 7ACS. Alright, this next one is the rarest integrity I have. And it is super rare, and only a few people have at the moment. You might think this is a regular 757 1A TW, but it is not. This is a chime-only version in white. 757 1A CW. And I will prove that to you. There you have it. So yeah, that's the chime-only integrity in white. Alright, this next one is pretty basic. It's an Edwards Genesis horn in white. Nothing really much to say about it. It's just a horn that does code 3. And yeah, not the best quality compared to the integrity though. Like, I'm gonna be honest with that. However, it's still pretty loud. So, here we go. And there you have it. That's the Edwards Genesis horn in white. Alright, this next one is another Genesis. However, this one is just a strobe. No horn in it, just a strobe, and there's no fire lighting on this one. So yeah, pretty standard. Let's give it a quick test. And there you have it. Edwards Genesis strobe. It's multi-candela, by the way. Alright, these two, I'm not going to actually test the next two because they are speaker strobes, and I cannot run them unless I find some sort of audio source for them. This first one is an Edwards Integrity 757 7A SS70W. It's just a white speaker strobe, but this one is actually enhanced, which I actually find pretty cool. So yeah, since this is a speaker strobe, I'm not going to test it, so. This next one I'm also not going to test, as I said. This is an Edwards Genesis speaker strobe in white. So yeah, I'm not going to test because it's speaker strobe and I cannot test unless I find some sort of audio source for it. Still pretty cool though. Alright, this next one is an Edwards Adaptabel. Well, I'd say this is pretty cool. And this is a 12 volt model, but I'm just going to power it with a 9 volt just to make things a lot easier. So I'm just going to power it right over here. Alright, here we go. So yeah, that is the Edwards Adaptabel. Pretty cool. Alright, that's all the Edwards stuff done. Now we're going to move on to Gentex. First off is the Commander 1 remote strobe. I do have the horn strobe version, which I'm going to get to right after the remote strobe. So yeah, this is a pretty standard remote strobe right here. Pretty neat looking, I should say. Alright, let's go ahead and give it a test. And there you have it. That's the Commander 1 remote strobe. Alright, this next one is a Gentex Commander 1. However, this one is actually a horn strobe. This one actually sounds like a smoke alarm, believe it or not. And I'll go ahead and demonstrate that for you. And there you have it. That is the Gentex Commander 1 horn strobe. Pretty cool. Alright, this next one is the Gentex Commander 3. And I must say, this is a fantastic alarm for a first alarm for a beginner collector. And these alarms are truly amazing. It has multi-candela, you can change the tone on this, and very thick plastic and has a very nice thick metal bracket. And these are very easy to install as well. And yeah, words can't describe how highly I recommend this alarm for a first alarm. Alright, I am not going to change the tone on this right now because that's going to take a long time to do. So I currently have this set on code 3 horn, so here we go. And there you have it. That is the Gentex Commander 3. Alrighty, the next notification appliance is the Faraday 6227-W. It has an electromechanical horn, which is pretty darn cool. This thing also rumbles the floor as well. And yeah, this is a pretty neat horn strobe, I gotta say. Alright, let's go ahead and give it a test. And there you have it. That is the Faraday 6227-W. Alright, this next one is the Siemens ZH-MCR. This is basically a rebrand of the Wheelock ZNS. It does the exact same thing as the Wheelock ZNS. And I must tell you, this thing is blaring loud. And there you have it. That is the Siemens ZH-MCR. Alright, this next one is the only simplex device I have. However, it is very rare. This is the Simplex 2903 light plate 9001, 2903 9001 with a 2901 9838 horn in it. And this thing is insanely cool, and this is the third alarm I acquired. Oh, I forgot to mention that both Gentex Commander 1s are actually my first fire alarms in my entire collection. This one is my third alarm, and yeah, I must say I'm very happy to have this unit. Let's go ahead and give it a test. Yeah, this thing is stupid loud. It literally rumbles my floor. And the light on it still works, which I'm very happy. So yeah, that is my 2903 light plate with a 9838 horn. Alright, this next one is the System Sensor Mass 24. This is one of the masses that you cannot change the tone temporarily. Once you change it, it's permanent. This one is set to this very weird tone. Take a listen. Pretty weird sounding tone, huh? So yeah, this is the System Sensor Mass 24. Alright, this next one is the System Sensor Mass 24LO. This is the mass that can actually change the tone on without any worries. However, I'm not going to do that right now because that is just going to take way too long. So yeah, the tone this is currently set on is the default 800 Hz continuous. So here we go. So there you have it. That is the System Sensor Mass 24LO. Alright, this next one is the Wheelock LF-HNK3. It's just a standard low-frequency sounder unit. And this is also my first low-frequency unit. And if I'm being honest, this thing does not sound the very best. I got this brand new in the box, but it sounds really, really weird. I'm guessing Wheelock designed that on purpose. So, not the best sounding low-frequency sounder unit. So, yeah. I'll give it a test anyway. So yeah, it sounds very weird. It literally sounds like it's gonna die, but it's really not, so Yeah, not the best low frequency sounder, but it gets the job done. Alright, this next one is the Wheelock LSM strobe. Pretty standard. I do have the horn strobe version of this, which I'm going to get to momentarily. So let's go ahead and give this a test. And there you have it. That is the Wheelock LSM strobe. There are single game version of these, but those are harder to get, while these double game ones seem easier to get. I've been seeing these on eBay a lot more. So yeah, pretty cool. Alright, these next ones are not one, but two Wheelock MT24 LSMs. These are also some fantastic alarms for first alarm. Very, very user-friendly and nice, reliable units. And there are a lot of tones you can set this on in volume selection. As I said with the mask and such, I'm not going to change the tone right now because that's going to take quite a long time to do, so yeah. The current tone that's set on is Code 3 tone, so here we go. And there you have it. These are the Wheelock MT24 LSMs. Alright, this next one is insanely loud and insanely cool and insanely rare. You might think this is a standard Wheelock 7002T, but this one actually has a black horn, as you can see, which is very rare. So yeah, this one, very cool unit, and it is insanely loud. This one also rumbles the floor. However, I think this one rumbles the floor the most, if I'm being completely honest with you. So, here we go. There you have it. This thing rumbles. So yeah, if you ever get these, be sure to have some hearing protection with you because these things are loud. Alrighty, this is the final notification appliance that I have in my entire fire alarm collection. And that is the Wheelock 46T G6 24WS bell strobe right here. This is one of my big favorite alarms of all time. And yeah, I really love these kinds of bell strobes. They're really cool. And this bell strobe is also nostalgic to me. I've seen one of these in my old middle school back in New Jersey. So yeah, I really love this thing. These are very, very cool. Alright, let's go ahead and give this baby a test. Pretty cool, right? So yeah, that is the Wheelock 46T G6 24WS. Alright, we're done with the commercial stuff. Now we're gonna move on to the smoke and carbon monoxide alarms. And so the first one in my smoke alarm collection is the Kidde I-9010. This is a pretty standard 10-year ionization smoke alarm. I know in the past I've hammed on 10-year alarms for being bad quality. However, this one seems to be one of the more decent ones. I've seen these last longer than your average terrible 10-year unit. And these seem to have pretty good detection as well. So yeah, let's go ahead and give it a test. And there you have it. This is the Kidde I-9010. Pretty cool, I should say. Alright, this next one is the Kidde I-9030. And this one is basically just like the I-9050, which I don't have, unfortunately. However, this one has this very, very weird bass. So yeah, pretty standard I-9030. So yeah, let's go ahead and give it a test. yeah, pretty standard. However, unfortunately, this one has the new Kiddo logo at the back, which sucks. Other than that, it's a pretty cool unit, and these alarms are pretty decent, in my opinion. Alright, these next ones are not one, but two Kiddo i9040s. These are the cheapest alarms that Kiddo made. However, I honestly think these are pretty good units. Every time I smoke test them, they go off pretty much instantaneously. And I used to have i9040s in one of my old houses, and I had absolutely no problem with them. So yeah, honestly, I think I recommend these units. Like, I'm gonna be honest. Like, these alarms are actual good quality. So yeah, let's go ahead and give them a test. I'm gonna go to this one first, and this one. This one is actually an i9040E because of the bigger base. So yeah, both of them do code 3, of course. So yeah, Kiddo i9040s, pretty good quality units. Alright, this next one is the Kiddo i9060. This one is an older model because it has a dimmer LED. So yeah, it basically tests the exact same way as my other i90 units, so let's go ahead and give it a test. So yeah. Oh, this thing is also basically just like the i9030s and i9050s, except that this one actually has a separate hush button, which I think is really nice. So yeah, i9060, another really good quality unit. Alright, over here is the final alarm that I have in the i90 lineup. And that is the Kiddo i9070. It's basically the i9060, except that this one has a front load battery door. However, this is not the best unit in the i90 lineup. I honestly prefer the i9060 over this, because the battery door can be a little flimsy at times, and the mounting base on this thing is actually really loose. So, yeah, you gotta be careful with these if you install them. Other than that, detection is pretty good. So yeah, let's give it a test. So yeah, Kiddo i9070, pretty cool unit, I should say. Alright, this next one is one of the most hated alarms out there. The Kiddo P310L. Literally one of the most hated alarms by Kiddo out there, because it's literally infamous for false alarming very easily. Luckily, mine has not falsed yet, although I'm not going to be too confident about it. I got a feeling it's going to false momentarily, like, in the future. Might as well give it a test while it's currently false alarm free. And there you have it. This is the Kiddo P310L. Yeah, and it's 10-year also, so that makes me hate this alarm even more. And it's photoelectric, by the way. This next one is literally one of the worst alarms that Kiddo made, honestly. It's the Kiddo/Firex i4618AC. Ionization and a load of garbage. The main reason why it's so garbage is because it can't even detect efficiently. That's literally why. And the loose battery door as well. It's like, what is this abomination? What is this design? Like, seriously. Almost every time I smoke test it, this damn thing fails. So, I do not recommend these. These are pretty darn bad if you ask me. They don't work well at all. Alright, these next ones are not one, but two Kidda I-12060As. No, these are not crappy. These are actually very good units if you ask me. And definitely far superior to the I-4618AC, if I'm being completely honest with you. Alright, let's go ahead and give them a test. And there you have it. These are my two Kidda Firex I-12060As. Really good quality units. Alright, this next one is the Kidda Firex I-12080A. This is another very good quality unit. And I must say, this is easily one of the best units Kidda made, if I'm being completely honest with you. And the escape light is actually really bright. Take a look. Yeah. Very bright escape light, which is a very good thing. So yeah, I-12080A. Very cool, and definitely one of the best alarms that Kidda made. And one of the best alarms in general. Alright, this next one is the Kidda P12040. It's basically the photoelectric version of the I-12040A, which I do not have yet. I do hope to get one soon, though. So yeah, the P12040 is also another very good unit, a unit I highly recommend, while they're still being sold because they were recently discontinued due to Kidda Detect, which is a disgrace. So yeah, let's give it a test. So yeah, that's the P12040. Pretty cool unit, and again, one of Kidda's best units. Alright, this next one is the Kidda P410 LACSW. It's a 10-year bridge unit, and sadly I do not have any more P410s, so I cannot show what the wireless interconnection looks like, but there are videos of them being interconnected. So yeah, this is a 10-year photoelectric, wireless, and hardwired. And unfortunately not the best out there. P410s have a tendency to false, so yeah. Might as well give it a test while it's currently false alarm free.
Testing. This is very loud. Press now to cancel test. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fire. Test complete.
So yeah, there you have it. That is the Kidda P410 LACSW. Alright, this next one is my very first dual sensor unit, and it's the Kidda PI9000. This is a dual sensor ionization / photoelectric alarm, and has a piezo horn, obviously. Hush, test, let's give it a test. There you have it. That is the Kidda PI9000. There is a newer version called the PI9010, but unfortunately I do not have that yet. However, I do have 3 of those installed in this very house right now. So yeah, PI9000, very decent alarm, very good quality. And this PI9000, although it's in my collection, it's actually protecting my room at the same time. So yeah, pretty cool, and one of my big favorites. Alright, this next one is one of the rarest Kiddas out of all. This is the Kidda 3050 VDS-10A. These were American Red Cross exclusive, but I'm not sure now because they were very likely discontinued and replaced by Kidda Detect. So, yeah. I actually got this alarm from James. He sold one to me. So, yeah. It's a 10-year unit. It's kind of like a P4010, but not really. However, this one has that, I guess, TrueSense sensor in it, although it's not exactly TrueSense. So yeah, let's give it a test.
Fire.
So yeah, that's the Kidda 3050 VDS10A. And if you thought that was it, oh no, I have a very rare one to show you. The 3050 VDS-C10A. This one is a combination version, and as far as I know, this is the only one known to exist as of right now. However, I'm not exactly sure on that, but I'm the only known collector to have one of these. So yeah, this is even rarer than the other 3050. It's basically like the other one, but it has a carbon monoxide feature. Let's go ahead and test it.
Fire. Warning, carbon monoxide.
And there you have it. That's the 3050 VDS-C10A. This next one over here, this is actually an i1 2020. It's basically the same as the i1 2040, except that this one is AC only. That's basically the only difference. So, nothing much to say. Pretty standard older unit. Might as well give it a test. And there you have it. That's the Kidda i1 2020. This next one over here is the Kidda i1 2060. Basically the same as the i1 2020, except that this one actually has battery backup, and this one has a front load battery door. So yeah, let's give it a test. There you have it. That's the Kidda i1 2060. This next one is actually pretty rare nowadays. The Kidda i1 2080. It's basically the same as the i1 2080A. However, this one has an incandescent light, and I will prove it to you. There you have it. That's the Kidda i1 2080. Pretty cool. Alright, these next ones are not one, but two Kidda 1276s. However, this one is absolutely destroyed. Like, the battery door is broken and the cover is, like, right about to fall out. Look at that. You can literally see the insides of this thing. So yeah, this one is basically garbage, but it does still work on AC power. This one over here I got new in box, and it's obviously fully functional, which is always a good sign. So, let's go ahead and give it a test. There you have it. That's the Kidda 1276. Pretty cool unit. This next one is the Kidda 1285. And this one's rare too. And 1285s have been getting pretty rare on eBay, if I'm being completely honest. So yeah, this is a standard 1285. And it has an incandescent light, of course. And yeah. Let's test it. there you have it. That's the 1285. I really like how this unit performs, if I'm being honest with you. Alright, these next ones are not one, but two Kidda 0918s. And these two may look similar, however, they are very different. This one has a diamond grill, while this one has a normal horn grill. However, the actual performance on these units are very different. Let's see if you can spot the difference between the two. That's right. This one does 4.6 and escape light flashes, which is insanely cool. Obviously, this one performs as your standard 0918, of course. So yeah, these two very, very cool units, and definitely a big childhood for me, especially this one right here. Alrighty, we're gonna get into Kidda carbon monoxide alarms now. This first one being the KNCO BLP2. Just very common, nothing too exciting. It's just very basic. So yeah, that's the KNCO BLP2. It takes 2 AA's and pretty much it. Alright, this next one is the plug-in version of the LP2. The KNCO DP2. It's really no different, except that the design is a little bit different, and it's plug-in with AA battery backup. So yeah, it's not very different from the LP2. I'll give it a test anyway. So yeah, that's the KNCO DP2. Basically tests the exact same way as the LP2. Alright, this next one is basically the more round version of the LP2. But honestly, I really like it, because it has like extra vents and all. And just the design. And it's the KNCO BBLP. Basically the same as the LP2, except that this one takes 3 AA's instead of 2. However, I think I honestly prefer these over the LP2s, because this has more vents than the LP2 does. And just the overall design too. And I really like the Nighthawk label on it. It's really cool. And this alarm is actually in service in my room right now. It's temporarily protecting my room until I get a carbon monoxide alarm with a digital display. Either battery operated or a KNCO PP3. That is not in my collection. Alright, let's go ahead and give it a test. So yeah, that's the KNCO BBLP. Very, very cool, and I believe these are still made to this day. And I highly recommend these units if you want a nice and simple serial alarm. These are really good quality. Alright, these next ones are not 1, not 2, but 3 Kidda Nighthawk KNCO PP3s. I know, that's a bunch of them. But these are all unique versions over here. This one is the newest out of them all. It has the Kidda logo on it, while these two are Nighthawk. However, this one's the oldest out of them all. I got this one out of Goodwill, got this one on eBay, and I got this one from Walmart. 2021, 2005, and 2000. So yeah, these have a pretty big gap in regards of age. Peak level on all these are 0, because I just powered them on, obviously. And you know what? For fun sakes, I'm gonna test all 3 of them at the exact same time. And there you have it. All these are going to go back to 0 in just a few seconds. So yeah, those are the KNCO PP3s. Definitely Honestly, I think this is the best plug-in carbon monoxide alarm, if I can be completely honest with you. Definitely one of the finest out there. Definitely top quality, and they'll work when you need them. So yeah, those are all of my CanSeo PP3s. Alright, this next one is easily one of my big favorites, and it's my favorite carbon monoxide alarm of all time. And it is the CanSeo PIC. It's basically the same as the CanSeo PP3, however, it's the hardwired version. And this one has a very unique initiating alarm light, which is yellow, and that I really like. And what's really cool about this one, if it's connected to a hardwired smoke alarm in a hardwired system, this will actually alarm its smoke and say fire on the screen, which I really like about this unit. And if another carbon monoxide alarm goes off in a hardwired system, this will still alarm and it'll say CO on here, if it is not the initiating unit. So yeah, I really love this alarm, easily one of my big favorites of all time. So, let's go ahead and give this baby a test. My only complaints with this one is that it takes quite a long time for it to do its first round. It's basically done now, so there you go. That's the CanSeo PIC. Hardwired carbon monoxide alarm with a display, 9-volt battery backup. And this next one is definitely a classic one for being in the 2000s, honestly. And it's the CanSeo PDP. This is basically the CanSeo PP3, except that this is actually AC only. Other than that, it's basically the same exact thing, but honestly, I think this one's a classic. So yeah, you can see it's on 0 now. Peak level will obviously be 0. So yeah, let's go ahead and give it a test. So yeah, there it is. That's the Kidde Nighthawk CanSeo PDP. Definitely an interesting unit, if I can be honest with you. Alright, this next carbon monoxide alarm is unfortunately not the best in user friendliness. However, this one actually has a very unique feature. This is a Canadian device, although they did make an American version, which has the same exact features, just the lack of French text. And it is the CanSeo LCB-CA. When I first got this, I had no idea on what this thing was about. And what you just heard, this is actually an AC power disconnect alert, I think. Because when you, like, if it's yanked out from an outlet, because when you let this go, it makes a chirp. However, it can be a little, sometimes it gets stuck, as you can see. And I think it sometimes does the end of life glitch when you do that. Wait, does it have the 2 chirps for end of life? That was weird. I think it did that because the tamper resist feature is on. Okay, it's spazzing out because of the tamper resist feature, so I'm just going to shut that off. Okay, will it shut up now? Okay, sorry about that delay, guys. That was my first time having to deal with that. I never knew that was the tamper resist feature. So yeah, I'm sure it finally shut up now. Yep, it's all quiet now, which is good. Alright, now let's finally test it. So yeah, there you have it. That is the Canon COB LCB-CA. Again, I apologize for the delay because I was trying to figure out the tamper resist feature and how it worked. So yeah, I knew how to make it shut up. I'm curious about it. I might not have all that in the video, but if I do, just get ready for a big delay. Alright, this next one is basically the battery operated version of the Canon COB LCB and CA. And that is the Canon COBB. It's basically like the carbon monoxide only version of the Canon COSMB, if I could be honest with you. Yeah, this one is definitely more user-friendly than the LCB-CA. However, this one actually does not have the tamper resist feature, which I accidentally demonstrated on the LCB-CA. So yeah, I had no idea the tamper resist feature was initially on the LCB-CA. I thought they were always off. Whatever. Anyway, back to the actual alarm. So honestly, I think this is one of my favorite carbon monoxide alarms as well. I really like how this looks. It basically performs the same as the Canon COSMB, however, no smoke sequence, of course. And there you have it. That is the Kidde Canon COBB. Definitely a pretty cool one. This next one is a display version of the Canon COBB. Oh, although it may look a little different because it's an older version. This is the Canon COPBB. As I said, this was an older version, so that's why it looks so different. So yeah, this thing was made in 2003, so it's going to perform a lot more different compared to my Canon COBB, which was made in 2006. So yeah, it's at 0 now, so here we go. So yeah, there you have it. That is the Canon COPPB. Definitely another cool looking carbon monoxide alarm. It's definitely a classic. Alright, prepare yourself for this next one. We got not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 Kidde Nighthawk Canon COSMBs. Yep, I know. I'm a big time Canon COSMB freak. In which I admitted myself, actually. I'm a big time freak when it comes to these units. These are a big childhood to me, especially the 4th gen version like this one over here. So yeah, I got a bunch of these. This one is a 2nd gen, not 1st gen. The reason why this is a 2nd gen, because this actually has a tamper resist feature. This one is a 3rd gen, basically the same thing as this one, but the Kidde logo instead. And this one has a different voice. This one's a 4th gen, kind of the same as this one, except that this one has a hush feature. The 5th gen is basically a completely changed version of this, although unfortunately this very one has been really finicky lately, so I really hope it works in this video. And this one is a 6th gen, the latest out of them all, and this one is working just fine, although this one has been finicky. So I'm guessing it's due to the circuitry, or they were aware of the bug and they fixed it on the 6th gen. So, yeah. Time to make a loud racket.
Fire. Warning,
And as usual, this one does not want to work.
Warning, carbon monoxide.
So yeah, that is all of the canned CSMBs that I got over here. This canned CSMB over here is actually the very first smoke alarm I've ever acquired in my entire collection. So this one's a very special alarm over here. And of course, all of these I got from eBay, except for this one, which I actually got at a yard sale. So yeah, as I think I already said, but if I didn't, I'll just say it now. Canned CSMB lineup, favorite smoke alarm of all time. So yeah, that is all the canned CSMBs. I'm gonna have a lot of fun taking the batteries out of these things now. Alright, these next ones are not one, but two canned CSM XTRBs. Both are completely different versions, although they perform almost exactly the same. As I said, I'm a canned CSMB freak, so I definitely like to get all the versions if I can. This one is the second gen model. This one was made in 2013. This one's a first gen model. You might think these were made in 2010. Oh no. I initially thought these came out in 2010, but I was wrong. Take a look at this manufacture date. 2009. 2009. This is the oldest canned CSM XTRB known to exist, which is pretty insane. When I got this and got my first impressions when I unboxed this, I was going insane, finding out that these came out in 2009, which is insane. Alright, without further ado, let's go ahead and give them a test.
Warning, carbon monoxide. Fire. Warning, carbon monoxide.
And there you have it. These are both of my canned CSM XTRBs. Definitely very, very cool. And the first gens have been really hard to get lately, if I'm being honest. So yeah, both my XTRBs, definitely very, very nice units. Alright, these next ones are not one, not two, but three canned CSM IBs. Yep, I have the hardwired version as well. However, this one unfortunately is actually expired, so it doesn't work anymore. It does still work in the malfunction chirp and smoke, kind of, but it's basically garbage, but still something. However, these two are fully functional. So yeah, this one is the recalled model, and this one is the non-recalled model. This was made in 2007, this was made in 2012. So yeah, both of these are fully functional, as I just said. So, let's give them a test.
Fire.
So yeah, those are both of my IBs that are fully functional. So yeah, definitely very, very cool units. And if you thought that we were done with the Cancer SMBs, oh no, I have a very cool one to show you.
Push test button. Appuyez sur le bouton d'essai.
That's right, I have the Canadian version, the CanCSM IBCA. Definitely a very, very cool one, and as I said, one of my favorite alarms of all time.
Fire. Feu. Warning. Carbon monoxide. Monoxyde de carbone.
So yeah, that's the CanCSM IBCA. I really love this thing. I really love the added French voice. It is truly wholesome. I really love this thing. This next one is the newer version of the CanCSMB, and I am heavily disgusted by it. The CanCSMBA. Disgusting. This thing is very disgusting. Like, look. I really hate this thing. It's like, why do I even have this? Yeah, this thing is a big flop when Kidda decided to discontinue the CanCSMBs and replace it with this. Battery door loose, detection's not efficient, false alarms, nowhere near as loud. The LEDs. Okay, I'm just gonna quickly test this thing before I start yelling at it.
Fire. Warning. Carbon monoxide.
So yeah, that's the CanCSMBA. Definitely one of the worst combo units that Kid has ever made. Alright, this next one is the photoelectric version of the CanCSMB lineup, and it is a lot better than the BA. The CanCSPEIC. Definitely one of the finest combo units that Kid has ever made. And these were made for quite a while. However, they were discontinued in late 2023 because of Kidda Detect. And I think the 900 COA arts as well. So yeah, what a disgraceful replacement. These are easily one of the best units that Kidda ever made. Yeah. It's like, it has the same exact design as the CanCSMB except for the front. And that's what I really like about it. So let's go ahead and give it a test.
Fire. Fire. Warning. Carbon monoxide.
So yeah, there you have it. This, along with the battery operated version of the CanCO PED and the CanCSMB lineup, this along with all that are easily the best combo units that Kidda made. Nothing else will top these. According to Kidda anyway. Alright, that is all the Kidda stuff complete. Now we're going to move on to First Alert. I'm going to get to the most junkiest stuff first, and then we're going to go on to their top quality units. As we slowly go on. The first one is the SA303. Unfortunately, it is pretty garbage. Unfortunately. It's like the alarm can easily fall off the base. Look at that. And it has that plastic sensor. AKA the same sensor the FG200s have. So yeah, that plastic sensor is very well known for their unreliability. So yeah, let's just quickly test this thing. Well, at least it's loud. That's the only thing I'll give it, and it does have a hush feature at least. But other than that, get this thing off my screen, please. This next one is a slightly upgraded version, although it's not the best. The SA304. Same exact thing as the SA303, but this one has an escape light, and unfortunately, it is not as bright as the 0918s. Yeah, and the horn on the SA304s are really flimsy as well. It's like I can literally feel the vibrations from the horn while testing, which is no good. Alright, the next one over here is the First Alert 9120B. These are actually top quality. Like, if I'm being honest, this is very decent alarm. I highly recommend these. Actually, First Alert recently upgraded these as well to the new precision detections. And those are also proven for their high quality. So I recommend both the precision detection version and this. This one has that metal ionization sensor. And those are always better. According to my experience, anyway. So yeah, First Alert 9120B, definitely one of the best alarms out there. So yeah, there you have it. That's the First Alert 9120B. Oh, there is a combination version of this, but unfortunately I do not have that yet. I do hope to get one soon though. Alright, this next one is the Federal Electric version of the 9120B. The First Alert 7010B. This is another very good alarm, and I highly recommend these. And honestly, this is one of my big favorite alarms. This is one of my favorite First Alerts of all time. I really like how it looks, and it is very well known for its high quality. Like, this is one of the best photoelectric units, easily one of the best. Alright, let's go ahead and test this thing. And there you have it. That is the First Alert 7010B. Highly recommend these units. These are very good. And over here is the First Alert SE7010B. It's a combination version of the 7010B. I actually got this for an insanely good deal. I got this for only $24. That's an insanely good deal for how pricey these are. So yeah, it's a pretty good alarm, pretty good quality. So yeah, let's go ahead and give it a test. Also, by the way, it has a low frequency sounder, which I really like. And there you have it. That is the First Alert SE7010B. I really love the low frequency sounder in this thing. It is loud. Alright, this next one is a dual sensor version of the 9120B and the 7010B. The 3120B. Another pretty good unit from First Alert. High quality. And yeah, nothing much to say about it. Let's give it a test. There you go. That's the First Alert 3120B. This next one is the smallest smoke alarm in existence. The First Alert P1000 Atom. However, this one is astonishingly rare because this one has a copper color. The more common versions are white. This thing is insanely rare. And I really love the sound these make too. Beep, beep. So yeah, I really love the sound these make. I almost dropped it. Anyway, I really love the sound these things make. Very cool unit. Alright, this next one, we're gonna go slightly older with this First Alert SA67B, which some people call it the smiley face unit. Same with me. And honestly, I think this is a pretty classic unit. I honestly like how this looks. So yeah, it does code 3, of course. SA67B, pretty cool. I also have the Escape Light version of it, the SA150B. However, what's different about this one is that this one actually has a light test feature, which is pretty cool. And obviously, Escape Light. Let's go ahead and see how bright this is. That's pretty bright. I will say First Alert Escape Lights were better in the past. So yeah. SA150B, pretty cool. Alright, we're gonna go even older now with this First Alert SA67D. Pretty boring vintage alarm, I'm gonna say. All it really does is does 4-6 and pretty much it. There's nothing really else to it. Pretty boring vintage alarm. So that's all it does, so yeah. SA67D. A good start for a vintage collector. This next one is a light test version of the SA67D. The SA90LT. This is actually my very first vintage alarm I acquired. So, yeah. This one does light test, of course. However, I'm not going to demonstrate that as I don't have the stuff for it. So, let's go ahead and give it a regular button test. So yeah, does your standard 4-6, obviously. So yeah, there's that, SA90LT. And this next one is the Escape Light version of the SA90LT. The SA150LTD. It's like the SA150LT, which I don't have, but this one has a smaller cover. Literally just before I started filming this, the horn on this was actually very, very faulty, like it wouldn't work. And I barely tested it throughout its life. I only had it for a year and a half, and I got a new box, so I had no idea what that situation was about. But luckily, I was able to fix it up, so let's hear it. There it is. That's the SA150 LTD. Pretty cool, and glad I was able to get it fixed. Alright, this next one is a hardwired version of the SA67D. However, it's AC only. This is the First Alert SA4919. As I said, it's the hardwired version of the SA67D, but it's AC only. So yeah, I say it's a neat unit. These are pretty rare as well. Let's go ahead and give it a test. So yeah, that is the First Alert SA4919. Alrighty, we're now going to move on to the First Alert carbon monoxide alarms. We got not one, but two CO400s. Unfortunately, they are not the best carbon monoxide alarms in my experience, but they do get the job done, so there's that. This is the older one I got from a house, and it's expired, so it doesn't work. All it does is the end of life cycle. However, this one does work. I got it from the house I'm currently filming in. I took it down because I didn't like how it was performing. So it was replaced by a First Alert SCO5, which is a combination smoke and carbon monoxide alarm. And that's been working well since. Might as well give the CO400 a test since it's still working. So yeah, that's the CO400. Not loud at all, honestly. Alright, this next one is a pretty cool one, I should say. The First Alert CO614. I'd say this is a pretty cool looking carbon monoxide alarm by First Alert. And also, you might be thinking this is running on a low battery because of this on the screen. But it's not. It's just telling me it's running on battery backup. And because when I plug it in on here, it goes away. So yeah, it's running on a perfectly good battery. It's just telling me it's on battery backup. So yeah, let's go ahead and give it a test. And there you have it. That is the First Alert CO614. I really like how the number goes up for testing. That's a pretty nice thing that First Alert added. Alright, this next one over here is the final First Alert carbon monoxide alarm I have, and it is this, the First Alert FCD3N. Now, I say this is a pretty neat looking one, I'm not gonna lie. I also got this from the same house I got my older CO400 from. However, this one actually still works, and I'll prove it to you. And there you have it. That is the First Alert FCD3N. I'm very surprised it still works after it being almost 25 years old. That's impressive. Alrighty, the next ones we have are that's right, the First Alert wireless lineup, most of it. This one's a First Alert SCO500, it's a 3rd gen. This is a SA500, SA520, and another SA500, which is finicky. So yeah, I'm gonna test these right now, so prepare for a loud racket.
Testing. Warning. Evacuate. Smoke in utility room. Evacuate. Warning. Evacuate. Carbon monoxide in utility room. Evacuate. Highest carbon monoxide level was 0 ppm.
So yeah, that is the First Alert SA520. This is a 1st gen SA500, 1st gen, another 1st gen SA500, and a 3rd gen SCO500. This is the only talking one out of them all. However, 3 out of 4 have low frequency sounders, and this one is also hardwired. So yeah, that's all of the First Alert wireless units I got so far. Alrighty, we're going to move on to BRK now, which I only got 2 of. The first one being the 2002. I must say, this is a pretty neat looking one. It has that nice system detector look to it. And yes, this one is also protected by a bug grill, which is always a good thing. So yeah, let's go ahead and give it a test. By the way, this one takes quite a while. There you have it. That's the BRK 2002. The final BRK I have is the 83R. It's basically just like the SA67D, although this is the original 83R. The SA67D is a rebrand of this. So yeah, let's go ahead and give it a test. So yeah, that's a 83R, does 4.6, and pretty much it. Alright, this next brand I'm just gonna go through really quickly because I really hate them. For Family Guard FG2 or FG200, excuse me. But I like to call them FG2 because you know why? They're so cheaply made, and they're literally one of the worst smoke alarms I've ever used in my entire life. Like seriously. 3 out of 4 here used to be in the house I'm currently filming in, and we had nothing but countless issues. Like, seriously. And one of them, I believe it's this one. No, I believe it's this. Oh, gosh. This one right here. This one was given to me by a friend of mine. And, yeah. I used to have 5 FG200s, but one of them was having its typical problems FG200s have, so I committed ultimate destruction on that one. So just the horn remains. So, I got 4 left, and I hooked up the battery on only 1, so let's go ahead and give that piece of junk a test. Get these out of my sight. Get off my damn screen. Unfortunately, I'm not even done with Family Guard. I have this piece of junk as well. The Family Guard FG88D. Pretty much the same exact issues as the FG200. However, these are slightly better. It has the better cover, but sadly, it still has the same sensor as the FG200 and the same horn as the FG200. So, yeah. So these are unreliable. And yeah. Let's just test it. So, that's all it does. So, yeah. Family Guard FG88D. Alright, this next one is the Performax GS52AA, and boy are these things cheap. Good lord. It's like, look at that. Has that cheap connector. And yeah. It's a rebrand of a Sitterwell GS52AA. Same exact thing except for the different logo. So, yeah. I'll test it anyway. Hello? What are you doing? Maybe I need to replace the battery. Alright, power cell to Duracell. Let's see how this works. There we go. There we go. This is the battery that I put into it. It's its original battery. So, yeah. Thank you, PowerCell, for making me think that my alarm broke. Piece of junk battery. So, yeah. That's the Sitterwell Performax GS52AA. This is literally the cheapest alarm I ever bought from the store. This thing was under $5. This one over here is the Firex ADC. This, along with the FADCs, PADs, and FPADs, they're all infamous for their horn failures. However, the ADCs are even more infamous. So yeah, this is just a Firex ADC, infamous for their horn failures, as I said. Luckily, this one does not have that problem, so I'll give it a test for you guys. So that's all it does. It does code 3, so yeah. What else can you expect? Alright, this next one is a slightly better version of the ADC. This is the FADC. It has a front load battery door, and this one is ramp up test. And I'll demonstrate that for you. Okay, this one is having horn problems. Let's see if that fixed it. Yep, that fixed the issue. You just gotta beat it up a little bit and it'll fix itself. So yeah, that's a Firex FADC, and I accidentally showed you the horn failure demonstration. So yeah, Firex FADC, and yeah. Alright, this next one's a pretty cool carbon monoxide alarm. And this is the Firex COE. It's a pretty rare carbon monoxide alarm, and honestly, it's pretty cursed at the exact same time. And believe it or not, this thing, when you test it, does 4 rounds of CO instead of your regular 2 rounds. Now I'll go ahead and demonstrate that for you. And there you have it. That is the Firex COE. Pretty cool unit. This next alarm is insane. Firex FADCQ. Yep, that's right. Firex FADCQ. Yes, I have one of these. These units are very rare. but only few collectors have these. And yeah. And this one, there are literally 5 LEDs in this thing. Like, I kid you not. There's red, orange, and yellow in here, green over here, and blue for CO, which I actually really like. And I'll go ahead and demonstrate that for you. And there you have it. That is the FireX FADCQ. Very, very cool unit, and definitely one of my favorites. Alright, we're going to go a little bit older with this FireX FX1218. Honestly, I think this is a really, really cool unit, if I'm being honest. Yeah, and it does 4.6, and it is hardwired. So yeah, I'll just give it a quick test for you guys. So yeah, that's the FireX FX1218. Really, really cool unit. And if you thought we were done with FireX, oh no, I have a very extinct one to show you. The FireX FXC-1. Yes, that's right. Full online cord FXC-1. These, you have no idea how rare these units are. This is one of the rarest FireXs you can ever acquire. Like, literally. This is a line cord version of the FXW-1. And I'm one of the 10 people that bought from that eBay listing. So yeah, that was a wild listing. That was insane. So yeah, let's go ahead and give this loud sucker a test. Yep, it has that AC buzzer, which I really love the sound of. So yeah, I really love the sound this makes. Very, very cool unit, and one of my big time favorites. Alright, this next one over here is the Code 1 Jameson Model A. It's basically a rebrand of the FireX Model A. And yes, these alarms are also infamous for their horn failures. And this one seems to be having issues. This one's having that horn failure issue. So, yeah. I'm not sure if it's going to have that issue now, but the only way to find out is to test it. So here we go. Yep. There we go. I was able to get it to work. So yeah. That's the Code 1 Jameson Model A. Alright, this next one is the Firenetics 0905. Unfortunately, not the best alarm for collectors, because this thing is really absurd with the battery and all that. And yeah, I'll go ahead and test it anyway. So yeah, pretty much it, nothing else. This next one is a predecessor to the 0905, the F900D, 2nd gen. And there is a 1st gen version which has a squealer horn. This one is the 2nd gen with a piezo horn. I also got this new in box back in 2023. So let's go ahead and give it a test. So yeah, that's the Firenetics F900D, 2nd gen. Alright, this next one is the Smoky Silver 4002. This is a gateway-based unit, and I must say, I really like this alarm. It's really cool. And it has that really funny guy at the back. So yeah, Smoky Silver 4002, gateway-based unit. Let's go ahead and give it a test. So yeah, that is the Smoky Silver 4002. Pretty cool unit. This next one is a Black & Decker SMK60M3. It's a pretty cool unit, not gonna lie. And due to the horn shape in this alarm, it is a piezo, but it sounds so much different. So yeah, that's what that sounds like. Really, really cool. I really like the sound this makes. Alright, this next one is insanely cool. This is a Sears model 246-57077. This is a 77R based unit, and a lot of people call it the baby Sears because this is a smaller version of another 77R based Sears, which I don't have. And what makes this one even rarer is because when I take out the cover, it has a test socket in there, which I'm the only known person to have a test socket version of this type of Sears. So yeah, that is awesome. Let's go ahead and give it a test. So yeah, that's my Sears. I also got this for free as well. I got it from a house, which was awesome. So yeah, really cool unit, and definitely one of my big time favorites. This next one is also insanely cool, and this is my very first Canadian device. The Guardian FB1A. As I said, this is my first Canadian device, and I believe this is my very first alarm that has a squealer, which is insanely cool. So yeah, let's go ahead and give this loud sucker a test. So yeah, that's the Guardian FB1A. Very cool unit and one of my favorite alarms of all time. Alright, this next alarm is the biggest alarm in my entire collection. The Teledyne Waterpik D1. And since there's no test button, it is smoke saber time. There you have it. That is the Teledyne Waterpik D1. This next one over here, I will not be able to test, unfortunately, because the sensor does not work, sadly. This one is an Archer 275451. It's kind of like an SS718, but like a fake, basically. This is basically like a fake SS718. So yeah, nothing much to say, although it's still a neat novelty item, so yeah, pretty cool. Alright, this next one is a Vanguard Smoke Sonic. You might think it's line cord, but you're wrong. Look at the back, direct plug-in, which is awesome. This thing is insanely rare. Like, it's even rarer than line cord versions. Right now, this is the only one known to exist. Last time I tried testing it, it was falsing non-stop, so I'm gonna plug it in and see if that issue persists. Oh, it falls for a second, but not anymore. Okay, it still wants to false, so yeah. It's still pretty cool though, at least I don't have to waste my smoke saber for it. This next one I will have to use my smoke saber for, because this one actually does not false. And it's my standard Pyrotector. It's basically like my Vanguard Smoke Sonic, however, this one is lower pitched. And this is the genuine Pyrotector, the original version. So yeah, got my smoke saber ready, and let's set this off. Took way too long to reset, so I just unplugged it. And the reason why I brought it upwards is so it can respond to my saber quicker, because saber and technically rises to the ceiling. So yeah, that's my Pyrotector. Very cool unit. Alrighty, this one over here is the final smoke alarm I have in my entire collection, and I saved this one as the best for last because it is the loudest smoke alarm in my entire collection. The Gillette Captain Kelly 941. This thing is loud. and I will prove that to you. Best for last. Okay, I guess it doesn't want to stop. I'm guessing I held the button for too long, but hopefully it shuts up at some point. Yeah, I give up. So yeah, that's a Gillette Captain Killing 941. Very, very cool unit, and be sure to have hearing protection with you. This thing is blaring. Well, folks, that is going to do it. This concludes the 2-year special collection update. As you saw, my alarm collection has expanded quite a lot in the past 2 years. When I started this channel, I used to have a pretty small collection, but now, I don't even know how big this got. Definitely more than triple its size, I will say that. So yeah, thank you all for 2 years of nothing but incredible support. It truly means a lot, and I sure hope my collection will expand for years to come. Before I sign off, I'm going to show every single device one last time. So there you have it. This has been the 2-year special collection update. And thank you all for watching. And that will be it.